Ready, Joe? We'll have a call to order of the Village of Armada Planning Commission special meeting, September 9th, 2014 at 7:30. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Smith?
Here.
Patterson? Here. Henderson here. Conan excused. Shoemaker?
Here.
Sledge?
Here.
Galecki excused.
Alright, approval of agenda. We'd like to propose one change, and that is that number 5, approval of meeting minutes June 2nd, be removed from the agenda since we do not have the quorum to vote on it at this time.
I didn't do, was that a motion?
No,
Somebody has to make one.
Someone needs to make a motion.
I make a motion that we postpone the approval of the minutes from June 2nd until we have a quorum that can legally approve them.
So are you making the motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Yes.
That's what he said.
Sort of.
Okay.
In a roundabout way, yeah.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. The B&M Park Store Site Plan Review. Everyone's got the application and plan review documentation.
Amy?
Did she give a response to this?
I didn't think it was.
He didn't say that, okay. All right. I can see that too. Let me try to have this one all right. There we go. It's C1.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about the parking situation. All right, so the property is the dollar store property. It's currently vacant. And Michael, I think that's, who's Michael?
Right.
That's you? Okay. Michael, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you'd like to open a party store selling to the community beer, wine, tobacco, and miscellaneous groceries. And in the future, I would like to sell liquor at this location. Becky and I were talking, so the modifications you're going to go for the site plan, and then your building layout and the specifics internals will come later.
That's gonna come later because I want to get approval first before I know on the coolers and it's gonna be pretty similar to this.
And none of that infrastructure is not in place in the facility right now. So these are all improvements you'll be making.
If you look in the top of the sheet, you have utility room, the bathroom, the stairs, the basement, and rear entrance. That's all existing.
Correct. But I'm talking you have your coolers, counter arrangement.
Nothing's in there.
Are going to be added.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. In terms of beer and wine and tobacco sales, how are you handling approvals for that? Liquor is a liquor license. You don't have that, but
I'm gonna apply for them.
Okay.
Might not have,
I have to apply for them.
You can't just arbitrarily get a liquor license. Don't you have to have one available?
That's what we were just talking about. Becky and I were just before this. I thought there was so many were allocated,
yeah,
and
we don't have
were
one
out of
available.
our allocation. But then, what is required for beer and wine versus liquor? It's a hard liquor.
I don't think that's license. I don't know. I've never seen a license for just beer and wine.
Right.
But
Beer and wine
he's just gonna apply for it.
I'm gonna play
Right,
that.
From
but the
state.
liquor itself.
Liquor, that's, you know, you
Yeah,
never
it
know.
is it's per capita, you know, how many each area has
Right,
by population. And last that we knew, there was no more available
Right.
currently here. So you may stop at beer and wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to put that in there for future. I'd like to.
If
In
it becomes
case.
available.
Yeah.
In case.
Okay.
What happened to the liquor license from Corey's?
We've gotten paperwork telling us it's been transferred to the people that were trying to buy it.
Oh.
So,
But not yet, it didn't happen yet.
but we don't know,
Yeah.
it's something that would have to be researched. But again, that wouldn't be our concern, that would be, you know, he'd have to find out where it's at.
Right.
So there was a liquor that went with that, it was with that store as well, because it was a party store before the dollar stores all came in.
No,
No, it was by
no, the liquor license was with Cordy's.
with Corey's.
Oh, that was with Cordy's too?
Liquor license.
He
He had beer and wine in there.
I remember them having beer and wine in
Yeah.
that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Before he went out, yeah, they went out of business, so.
And I think
Okay.
Van Hoody used to have the place over there on where Carolyn's Cabinets is now. He had a beer and wine license at one point. That was years ago.
So if, for an approval, if you don't get approved for beer and wine, then how does that affect your plan?
If I don't get approved, then I don't get approved. Then I can't open up a store. I just want okay from you guys before I go
Understand
further.
that the use, right. We said it was permitted use, no special approval
No
named, so
special,
that's
permitted.
easy. Okay. All right. Miscellaneous groceries,
Chips, donuts, hot dogs, buns, you
Milk.
know,
Milk, yes.
milk,
Bread.
eggs,
Bread.
convenience, you
Yeah,
know.
something.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, that's good for the location. Use the existing dumpster in the back. That's not being, is that being shared by, is that Subway using that same one too?
Yeah, it does.
That, those are the two that use that, okay. Signage, you don't know the sign ordinance, you'd like to have neon signs in the window and two signs, one on the front and back, so you have, I think it's the last page shows
Yeah, that's an idea.
lots of signs.
Well, there's an awning in the
So
front
you have
building.
awnings, yeah.
I've used that awning for the sign, and then the side of the building, I've never put another sign, but
Right. Is there, I can't remember what's on it now.
It's General Dollar, I think.
It says Gem, doesn't it?
Armada General?
Armada
Armada
General.
General.
Yeah.
Right, so you'll get the material replaced on it and you use that, and I can't remember, is that one lit?
No.
Got one public entrance.
it's in Sniper, maybe I have to click
Yeah,
that.
sometimes.
Yeah, so in terms of window signs and that, we can, the ordinance, the sign ordinance can be reviewed, and then Dennis,
That you would do because you don't have it ready now, then whenever you do your building permit application to do any modifications inside and your certificate of occupancy, then you would also do the sign. You would do it all at the same time,
Yeah, okay.
then that way.
shipping and receive emergency candles, which I think is what they were doing currently. Because it's got a reasonable, about 4 spots or so behind the building too, you can buy the dumpster there is available for parking. So that makes it nice.
Now, are you going to use the basement for storage of any kind, or?
Miscellaneous, maybe boxes, display racks, maybe.
Yeah.
What you like in there, Paul?
Just, what are you going to use the basement for?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, because there's no layout of it or whatnot.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You might not use it because you got the space over there upstairs.
Yeah, it would be for my personal, just for stocking, storage, displays, and like I said, nobody will be going down there.
Is that all just one open room, that basement?
Yes, there's a partition wall.
There is a partition?
There is a partition wall with the door opening in it already.
Okay.
Paul, you suggest you'd like to see a layout of the basement added to it?
No, if he's not going to use it for the store, I just was.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because you got space upstairs.
Yeah, there's a plenty. Nobody's gonna be going downstairs.
Those basements dry?
Oh yeah,
That's right.
we were there, not even one drop of water.
Yeah.
We were really dry.
Lighting. In that section where, I'm sorry, what the package, like that, it says like 6507.
It just refers to how close they could be to something else.
Okay, that's what I was figuring it would be. I don't think there's really much. So how far is it to the gas station?
Oh, it's gotta be,
Something like that.
yeah, I would think it's gotta be more than that. Because you're going
So you run from the corner of right, nope, yep, keep going up and to the left,
Right.
there you go,
here
to that,
to
right there.
here.
Yeah.
What are you reading, Chris?
It's 1,000, you can't be, you
6.507.
have to be a minimum of 1,000 feet from any other store that sells packaged beer, wine, and liquor, churches, temples, and other places of worship, all child care facilities, schools, parks, and hospitals. So you got the park up north of it, that's probably more than that. You've got the church down the street across from the gas station, the old business incubator. Then you got
Where
the
is
United. What's the United?
K. Rowling's daycare going to be?
Oh.
In,
Well, she hasn't come before us, so it doesn't exist right now.
okay.
Yeah, that's true.
She hasn't come before us.
What, was the Marathon there when they had the party store in the corner store there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was okay then, right? Have we changed the ordinance?
Or when what?
1,000
Yes.
feet.
We did.
For the both to sell beer and wine?
But Alfonso
I don't think
was
it's
in
1,000 feet.
Don't you?
I don't know if it is or not, but
I don't think so.
it didn't exist then.
Things for liquor is the top.
It didn't exist?
This wasn't until
Beer and wine.
2002.
No.
No, I don't think it's 1,000 feet.
So maybe it wasn't even an
It wasn't even
ordinance.
an ordinance at that,
Yeah.
it would have been in the code of ordinances more likely if there was anything.
How can we find out that distance?
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to physically measure.
Well, a
Would
football
it be
field,
on-
Probably get it
would it be
off
on
the
the
field is
flat map?
900
Get it off the
feet.
map, yeah.
Is it longer than a football field from there to the,
One or the other.
Well, it'd be close.
100 yards is 300 feet. So 3, 4, almost 3.5, 3 1/3 football field.
Christie, house on Preston, 947 feet off of the road. That's a longer stretch than
You
the
know,
block
we had
of
United, that's
Main
the
Street.
church down the street from the main.
Yeah, the drive was longer.
That was only
What's between the two
947
shores,
feet.
right? I don't think it's 1,000 feet.
That's all right.
It's Hollow Adams. It's, that's more here though.
Oh, okay.
That's the Hollow.
Okay, Becky, can you get the Main Street paving project file?
I can.
That'll tell you how many feet.
So Main, Fulton. Yeah, they're all individual numbers.
Well, of course it would be.
So there's lots of 20s.
Look for scale.
Well, if you did it from here to here, it'd be 300. So there's
Does anybody have a ruler?
Yep, 2. 6.
No, keep going. What is this?
That should be,
This is street, doesn't keep going. Oh, this is church right here. So we're only going
This
from
is
here to
church.
here.
yeah,
So that's only like 400 feet.
yeah, 300 feet. It's that one right there.
Yep.
That's that one and this one.
Yeah. That would be the problem.
really right. 37, 39, so 40, 70, 100. Yeah, that is right.
Well, these two here are pretty much the same thing, right?
Now, as I say, the other one is where's the
This one
church
and this
at? The
one.
church is right there, though.
179, 279.
Yeah, yep.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly, that's like 300,
Yeah,
exactly, you're
it's
right.
like 300.
It just doesn't seem like it seems bigger. than
Yeah,
that,
it
does
does. It does. It does.
So it is it is basically, as you're saying, it's a football field.
Yeah.
That's
The main street in Drag is basically like the football field.
close to it, yeah.
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 That'd be 300 feet, 100 yards, so.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is from Burt to Fulton.
That's the problem.
What page is that on, that?
It's 6.507,
Right.
not page, the ordinance.
The page is 6-20 and the section is 6.507 for packaged liquor store. So if you're gonna sell packaged beer, wine, and liquor. So regulations are intended to minimize potential adverse impacts from stores that sell packaged beer, wine, and liquor on adjacent uses and the quality of life and property values of abutting residential neighborhoods. Yeah, the separation distance between shall be measured horizontally between the nearest point of each property line. So we even helped them out. We went to the other end,
Mhm.
maybe the inside.
Right.
And then we can say it would just be the gate because Corey's doesn't count right now.
Nobody else does.
I would say the pharmacy, that's where it went in the first place. The church is even the church right across from that, and then the United Congregational may be questionable at that point too.
With as close as that is.
Yeah. Well, that may be the. Yeah. That may be a showstopper, huh?
I would say.
Sounds like
I
it.
would think so too. Now, could that go to ZBA? Oh. I'm trying to think what hardship or what would you have that could exist? I mean, I don't think we're, I mean,
Itself
unless,
is the ZBA to prove that it was,
and then Dale pointed out, I mean, unfortunately, at one time, there was something there
Yeah,
that
there
was that close. Now, the thing was, I don't remember if the gas station sold beer and wine at that time, that party store was in place. Now granted, I believe it preceded the issuance of this ordinance.
Which party store?
The one that was at the dollar store about
Alphonse's,
15
right,
years
was in
ago or
there.
so. They were only here for the first 2 years of that when I moved here.
Yeah.
So
We've had changes
like-
in the ordinance since then. too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think this was even issued even at that time. If I'm not mistaken, this was 2002.
Right.
Yeah, and I know, and they were already gone for 2 years because I think they went out of business, finally closed in 2000 or so, a couple of years so after I moved in. So, but to Dale, I mean, again, if
It was there. I mean, it was there at the same time. And I think the marathon, seems like the marathon was, for as far back as I can remember, sold beer and wine, you know.
Seems like it.
Yeah, so. Well, Michael, I think that may be your stumbling point right now. So we have in the ordinance for the beer and wine and liquor sales, a requirement to be 1,000 feet minimum from any other store that sells the same, any churches, temples, places of worship, child care facilities, school parks and hospitals, and all adult use or sexually oriented businesses. And the separation distance is actually the nearest property line is what they use. And we believe there's at least 3 of those types of uses within that same distance.
Plus the churches, Methodist church was just a short block. Straight
Oh,
down.
yeah, up the other way, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's probably in the same, so there's 4, and now the other one's 2, that one's probably far enough, the one on the far west end of town, across
Yeah,
from the senior center, that should be far enough away.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Was anybody far enough away other than maybe Cordy's? From the marathon, 1,000 feet in town that they could sell?
Well, the Corey's was there before
Corey's
the ordinance was
existed,
changed.
right.
Yeah, but I mean, have we given the marathon exclusive rights to sell beer and wine from where they're located?
Well, you could argue that's by default what this kind of did.
Yeah,
You were here, it was first come, first served, or survival of the fittest.
right.
Took its toll, and then you have, and this is basically protecting them. Is that necessarily something that's a hardship? Now, again, too, I don't know what it takes, and I apologize for not even researching this, but I didn't think about what it takes to apply for beer and wine sales. How is that different? You know, whether that's a liquor, and on top of the Suffolk liquor license, which would mean we may be already out in the first place.
Correct.
So yeah, you have 2 major challenges right now. So the first one, obviously, is from a code, our zoning ordinance. Everything else, the use itself, the hours of operation, signage, shipping and receiving, the garbage, the layout, all appear to be within the requirements. The building upkeep was already for all the other structural ideas and things that are already here are already been taken care of there. So it's just unfortunate. You do have one that's with the wine and beer and wine sales is a major challenge. Without it, you certainly can proceed.
Chris, was that ordinance taken? You know, I wasn't here then.
It could, yeah, I was here, yeah, and these were boilerplated from McKenna, who did the majority of the draft of it, used other municipalities as the reference for it.
Bigger?
In most cases, they were
Yeah.
bigger because they were the ones that had templates at the time. Now, in particular, I also believe that most of these came from the west side because they're out by my office in Northville area. So
Okay.
you're looking at Livonia,
Yeah.
Novi, Plymouth, Canton. Were
Actually,
probably.
Chris, they mirrored a lot from Metamora.
Yeah, I remember
we
Metamora.
actually had to
Right.
take that out of the ordinance because it said Metamora
It said
instead of
Metamora, yeah, that's true. And then there was Romeo, Washington, because we met with them too,
Dryden.
for some things, Dryden, to go where you're going, and Joe was a great segue. That is kind of where we went to counterbalance. Some of them was okay, because I can't remember if that was Ben. There's a few other people. It may even been Dave Conan was our council liaison as well at the time. I think challenge that too with, okay, what's, the small town type.
Right. Yeah, because if you took a compass and put it on Marathon and drew a 1,000-foot circle all the way around it, you'd have Armada, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so by doing that, it did give them,
Somewhat of an exclusivity.
yeah.
Right.
This is every township, you have to be 1,000 feet everywhere, like a Romeo, no?
No, I do not know what theirs is required, but I don't doubt that theirs is somewhat similar. But I would imagine the reality being is they probably made some sort of exception even too for the C1.
From what I understand, I figure liquor's got to be far away, not the beer and wine.
Right.
But the liquor alone, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But the beer and wine,
I agree, but now that is another thing too, is it could be brought up for us to change the ordinance as well, if we feel it's too restrictive.
So when they're saying packaged liquor, are they?
Packaged beer, wine,
Oh, it
and
actually
liquor.
spells it out?
It
Okay.
does spell it out, yeah.
Yeah.
because right now I had a station, the guy 2 months ago, he's got 10 feet away from me, he's got liquor and beer. I'm in Washington, right next door, next building. I mean, could be different over here.
It is different here.
The beer, I thought it was no problem, I can call,
Mhm.
state and see what happens.
Yep, you can do that, but like I said, you know, this is what their zoning ordinance does say.
Is
We
it
we
1,000
have
feet?
changed our ordinances
Or-
before,
Yeah.
you know, at the
It's
same
to
time.
the ordinance.
Huh?
It's to the ordinance, 1,000.
You know, if as a, you know, board, the commission, that it's deemed that we want to change that, it can be done.
Yeah, it just sounds like
It
it
wouldn't
sounds
be a
like a
decision,
big
I said it
town.
wouldn't be a decision tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like a big town rule that was taken into a small town.
Well, I think so too, but nonetheless, I think business districts, things like that, even in those other communities, have their own set of rules on top of that as well.
Yeah.
We didn't differentiate, you know, if this is more C2 oriented versus C1. C1 may have something different. And we could actually consider that too if we want to. Maybe it's a change, but the change may be what you want to be able to allow in C1. And is the marathon in C1 or is that C2?
Is what?
Is the marathon in C1 or is that C2?
It's a little bit both. C1 on Main Street side, and when it gets out of the Church
Oh,
Street
really?
side from where they bought the little blue building.
Right.
C2.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that add-on to the parking
Yeah,
lot.
the parking lot now.
You're
So
right.
now they're a little bit both.
Okay.
But I think you're gonna require a public hearing to make any amendments to the ordinance.
Right.
Right.
It would be a process.
Yeah, exactly. That says that's some of the decision is going to be made tonight, so. We do have some other amendments we were considering to be trying to take care of this year too, aren't we? Signs, lights, something like that. We were also, fence, I think,
That's,
too.
yeah.
So, we should probably take that in and see if we're, the packaged liquor store ordinance is something to be worthwhile, so. Other than that, it's, you know, it's willing to do the due diligence to find out about getting a license for beer and wine. And what is our situation in terms of liquor for the future. And everything else seems to be in order.
Just like you said, today we can't give you an answer. It would be a process before you'd be able to.
No, I
consider doing
understand.
it.
You were, by the way, what was the time frame you were looking to try to get this business up and running in?
Well, I was gonna start tomorrow. I was gonna try meeting the cooler guy out. You know, that's where I'm at. I was ready to go.
Have you already entered into a lease agreement with the proper, or who's the proper?
Me.
Yeah,
that's the
Right.
thing.
I'm doing it proper.
All right. So you already entered into an agreement, or you're still putting an agreement together?
We got the lease, but,
Yeah.
you know, we're waiting for the answer, so.
All right.
With no alcohol sales, he could go to the
Absolutely.
store.
If you take out
You just have
if you
to
take out the
take it.
alcohol, you can proceed. And then add that on.
Should there be changes?
Right.
Reduce the grocery store.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you use one?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can use one. There's no groceries in town now.
Yep.
Okay.
So, are you gonna go do a little more research? You wanna modify? You wanna think about it? Maybe approach
You wanna
us
come back
later?
again, are we?
But yeah, we're gonna have to research. We're gonna have to research with the
Okay.
beer.
Yeah.
Well, then let us know when you're ready, again, when you're done with your research. We meet the first Monday of every month.
Okay.
So, you know, give us plenty of time, you know, don't come in that Monday at 4 o'clock and say, hey, I wanna come tonight. Because if we have no business, we don't have a meeting. So, you know, give us sufficient, 5, 6 days notice. And we'll keep working on our end to see what any possible options would be.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Give us some homework.
You guys think we waste our time to follow up, or
No.
what kind of chance we got?
Oh,
We should keep it going,
Well, that's up to you, but again, I've asked, and it's on our agenda, well, we can discuss it as a board and try to go through the process to see if there is a change that the board or the planning commission would be willing to make. I can't tell you what the odds of that are at this time, but you know, whether you want to pursue or not is up to you. It's my decision. I would recommend follow up.
let's give it one more shot.
Yeah, but find out what it takes, what it is for beer and wine sales, and then and obviously you're looking at a future for liquor. Because another thing too, I think too, is the long-term viability of something. If you want to come in selling beer and wine but can't get liquor, what does that mean? Do you stick around or do you?
We can stick it around.
I know liquor is a problem, is hard, you know, but beer and wine, I never thought it was gonna be like 100 feet at the most. I never heard 1,000, but he says 1,000 there earlier.
So again, and if you do change your mind regarding and want to start without that, you know, it can be considered a retail, which is also permitted use without the other, and we don't have any supplemental use standards associated with it. I'm assuming that means it's definitely less than 10,000 square feet. I don't think that whole building of both goes upwards of that. I think it's only 5,000 between the two combined. So you could do that, and you could amend the site plan and then go from there. All right, gentlemen?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
You do homework, you do yours.
Amen.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Where was Dog and Door? He was on that side of the road, wasn't he?
That was
Where
all
they,
long before this ordinance was changed, I think.
No, I was thinking in terms of grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah, I was
Dog and
gonna
Door
say,
was successful
I
on
want to
Main
get
Street.
yeah, I want to
quite a
get
while.
some feel. I
The
think about some of
photo
these
shop,
things too.
the
But you're right, I'm
photographer
fine
and
with
the
that.
florist was.
Oh,
There was
okay.
photographs.
I knew it was on that side of the street,
Yeah.
just my mind wasn't good enough to remember where. But I knew it was over there.
First, it was across the street on the other side.
Yeah, well, the hardware store is, wasn't it?
No, down this
Oh,
way.
was it? I should stop guessing. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, you just gotta keep asking old people.
I remember Dog and Door's Market, but and I know he was on the north side of the street when I remember.
Now, see, the ordinance says specifically stores that sell packaged beer, wine, and liquor. So unless you take out the packaged beer and wine and just sell packaged liquor, he's still between a rock and a hard spot as far as the distance goes.
Well, I agree. I think that the semantics, is it all inclusive or partial is not there, but we may want to clean that up too as we go through it.
1,000 feet in a small town is a lot of feet.
It is a lot. And you brought up a really good point of I'll call it the monopoly type scenario. You've given preferential to someone without even intending to.
Yeah.
It did, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we'll talk about that at the next meeting.
All right.
Public comment?
Pretty quiet
No
time.
public today except
Not
for
compared
us.
to what they're saying outside, but
Ben didn't give me a report to give, so none of the chairs have anything to say, so I think we're okay. No chair report today. And we have a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
At 8:05.
8:05. Thank you, Joe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right.